So do you feel like, so you've been at, well, a couple of things. First of all, I wish that I would have been paying as close attention in 2016 and from there on as you were, because there were such obvious signs looking back.
Yeah.
That something was wrong. Johnny Depp, I mean, I like some of his movies, especially like some of the, like Donnie Brasco and Black Mass, some of the gangster movies and things, but he was just not really on my radar. And so when this happened and she's walking around outside court, I saw the bruise and fake bruise or whatever, right? But the bruise, and she's all crying and looking pathetic. And I thought, well, Johnny Depp does seem kind of like a weird guy. And, she's too young for him. Like all of these biases that now I'm so educated on, right? But at the time I was just like everybody else, just like, oh, I bet he did or whatever, right? And so it wasn't until he sued her that I changed my mind. And I've said before on my channel, I remember I was, when I read his lawsuit, it was like 5 a.m. I was in a hotel room with my sister. We were traveling, or I was visiting her or something. We were in a hotel room and she was asleep and I couldn't sleep. And I log onto my phone and I see on Twitter, somebody post something about the Johnny Depp lawsuit. And then like, I'm just under the bed with the phone in my face. And I'm just like, oh my God.
Yeah. It was heartbreaking to finally hear his words.
Oh man.
What he was saying was going on. It was
and to realize, and I was just to realize, I mean, I know that people lie and I know that people make up hoaxes and things, but to realize the lengths to which this actress that he had married, Amber Heard, and that's all she was to me at that point, was this actress he'd married, to realize the lengths that she went to. I remember when I got to the part about her sister fake punching, laughing about it, and I was just like, whoa, these people are like evil.
And that finally got into the trial, thank God.
Yes. So how do you feel, I guess last question, how do you feel now in the aftermath about the way that this stuff is still being reported in the media and the way that still a lot of mainstream figures are talking about this trial and what happened?
It's heartbreaking. I mean, there are real victims out there. I mean, all I can do is reiterate it. 7 juror members unanimously found she lied with malice. She knowingly lied. And that's what I'm going to rely on in my statement so that I'm not speculating. This is what we were told. And this is what I had always believed. And I'm so sad that after the verdict, this man that was falsely accused is still being dragged in the media. Everyone's disappointed. Right. So even just lately today about the ex-Fenty, I'm reading these articles saying that it was a huge success, except overclouded by Depp. And then they actually add the sentence, and they actually add the sentence, even though he won his defamation, he won. And they're still saying he should be ostracized. And I think that's so wrong. And I also think it's misleading because if you look at the numbers, her following is going up. His views are huge. The website slowed down, almost crashed when they were trying, because so many clothes were selling. What they're saying isn't what's happening in reality. It was a huge success for Rihanna. And Rihanna believed what she believed and invited him on. And he was thrilled. He was so surprised and so excited.
And he was great. He was great in it.
He was awesome.
I thought that was really, I have to say, in all honesty, I did like that appearance better than the MTV moon astronaut appearance. No offense to Depp, but the Rihanna thing was cool. And, she's going to be laughing all the way to the bank, just like Dior has been with Sauvage, because haven't they been like breaking records
breaking records. So I don't know why the media keeps on insisting, pushing the narrative that's not holding up in the statistics.
Yeah, well, we know why. They're getting more and more desperate as they're losing control of the narrative, I think, and all this faux outrage. It's really something. But I do think that Johnny Depp, he's finally, more or less in the clear, and he's back to making movies. And I think he's going to be in that French movie, right? About
he finished that, and I don't know that he's in the clear. I don't know that any huge studio will ever work with him again or take that risk.
Really?
I don't know. Well, there's Warner Brothers and Disney. I don't see that happening. I wish it would. I saw that Jax had tweeted out that Jerry Bruckheimer was at one of his concerts in LA, and I thought that was so cool.
Is there going to be another Pirates? Are people talking about that? I don't keep up with that gossip.
I don't hear anything about it.
Okay.
Who knows? But I think he wants to do what he wants to do, and that might be indies, and he's opened up his European production company. So it seems like he's moving further and further from Hollywood and wanting to do his own thing.
Yeah. And that actually, in the end, when all is said and done, despite everything he's gone through, you know, he might actually look back and he might actually see that all of this kind of created maybe a space for him to do some things that other than the big studio films that he might have been doing or kind of trapped in, you know, if all this hadn't happened. Like there are silver linings, and so the trajectory that his career is taking now, and some of the risks that he's taking, and also the fact that he's been able to devote so much time to music, you know, because that was one place where he continued to be accepted, right?
Yeah, and he's thrilled. He's doing his music. He's doing his art. He's supposed to be directing something. I don't, you know, we'll see. You know, movies get put out and shelved and put out, and who knows what's going to go forward. I have no knowledge of that, but he did complete this other one, and obviously, you know, Dior's re-signed him, and he's done Xfinity and MTV, and he's Hollywood Vampires now, and now it's their next part of their tour. He'll be doing that. And maybe there'll be some new music. I don't know, but he's doing what he loves now. He's not. So you become part of the machine, and the expectations, you have to keep working and working and working.
Right.
And feeding all the people you've been feeding. I'm not talking family. I'm talking.
No, I know.
You know.
Yeah. It's a whole sort of way of living that develops around these stars, and there's a whole machine that has to be kept going. So so maybe in this there's actually been some freedom, and I appreciate you coming on, and it was so nice to finally talk. And I do feel like after coming through this trial and everything, I do feel like you are a comrade, whatever happened in the past. I'm glad that you're on board, and I'm on board, and we're on board together. And I wish you well. I know you've had some health challenges, you know, and so I hope people will be thinking of you and praying for you and everything. Well, everybody, see the links below. I'll link to her channel and everything. TheRealLauraB, check it out. And everybody have a great day, and we'll see you again next time.
Thanks, Laura.